In this Star Wars gaming news update video, I'm going to be showing you the Jedi Power Battles re-release, which has just come out alongside the Prequel Pack. Before we do dive into all of today's news though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future Star Wars gaming news updates. So, it was announced at the end of last year, but Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles got a re-release which launched today. It's available on all platforms, so PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC via Steam, and the Nintendo Switch. This is yet another re-release done by Aspyr, and I've got some thoughts on it, which I'll share later on in the video, having played around with it for a little bit. Thanks to Aspyr, though, for sending over an early copy of the game so I could get this video out for you. This is a classic game that released 25 years ago. Some people really liked this game, it's very nostalgic for them, and they are going to really enjoy this. But for others, back then, they found it not to be as good as other games released in that time frame for Star Wars, and also harder than a lot of the other games. This is on sale for $20. There is no physical release at this moment in time, so it's completely digital. And it is essentially the same game that came out 25 years ago, but with a few extras. So, there is also a dozen new characters that have also been added to this re-release as well. So you can now play as Jar Jar Binks, a Droideka, a Flame Droid, a Rifle Tusken Raider, a Gungan Guard, a Rifle Droid, a Rodian, a Pilot Droid, a Weequay, an Ishi Tib, a Mercenary, and Staff Tusken Raider. So all of those are also available in the game, which were not playable in the original version. So that's pretty neat, especially Jar Jar. I think a lot of people will have a lot of fun playing as him, and it's so cool that he is playable. I also think people enjoy playing as the Droideka as well. There is also the ability to toggle lightsaber colours as well, because back in the original game, some Jedi did have lightsaber colours that were accurate at the time, but then were changed later by George Lucas with, say, Attack of the Clones. So, for example, Plo Koon in the original game has a yellow lightsaber, but as we know from Attack of the Clones onwards in canon, he has a blue lightsaber. So you are actually able to toggle all of the lightsabers for the original cast of characters to be their original or their now canon appearance, which is neat. There is also a modern control scheme as well as the default, so that's great. So if you weren't a fan of the controls in the original, but when you do load up this game now, you will be able to enjoy a refined experience with the controls on controller. You do have the option to go back to the classic control scheme if you wish to do so though. So if you are a purist and you just want to play like the original, that is there as well, which is fantastic to see. I will also mention that you can play with a keyboard. There is no mouse option, even in the menus, which is very frustrating. That is something I'm quite annoyed about, to be honest. You have to use a keyboard to navigate all the menus, which is terrible and not a mouse. However, you can use the keyboard in-game if you wish to do so and play that way, but this game definitely feels like it needs a controller, really, to actually enjoy it. All of the classic cheat codes and such are also included, so if you enjoyed some of the fun cheat codes that were available back in the day, such as the Big Head mode, then you can do that. There is also co-op as well, so this is couch co-op only as opposed to online co-op. There is no online component in this re-release either, just like the original game. You can play split screen effectively, and you have all of the standard modes from the base game as well, as you'd expect, such as the training mode, the standard story mode, and co-op. The thing I'm most disappointed in is the fact that the animations of the game are set to a locked 30 frames per second, it seems like, as opposed to how the rest of the game actually runs. It's really off-putting for me. It's a nitpick for sure. I'm sure people won't care about this, but for me personally, especially when some work has gone into this and other games that are older do run at higher resolutions and frame rates just fine, this is just annoying to me. As someone that is running the game at much higher frame rates than 60, even at 60, it would be jarring to experience 30 FPS animations when the game is running at 60. So I hope this could be fixed in future updates. It's very disappointing that it has launched this way. So as I alluded to, I have been playing on the PC version of the game, and as you'd expect, the frame rate is good because it's such an old game, and I am playing on a high-end PC. However, there aren't almost any visual settings that you can change. You can change the resolution, but that is it. Pretty much that's the only option you have, so you can't change the graphics to make them look much better or much worse than what they are. I would say that the AI upscaling is distracting in some cases, more so outside of gameplay, more than anything, to be honest. For example, the intro video and things like that, that's where you can really tell. But for the most part, when I'm playing the game, it's not much of an issue. But so where it matters most, when you are actually playing the game, you're focusing on the core gameplay, it's not a huge deal. But overall, the presentation is still feeling a little bit, Battlefront Classic Collection-esque with the AI upscaling artifacting going on. That said, it's not terrible, but just something to be aware of. It's great that it is nice and sharp at high resolutions now. That said, you can tell it's a game from 25 years ago, but at least it isn't blurry anymore. There was also a few occasions where my display would go black for some reason. This doesn't happen with any other game, just at random times would be playing in the background because I could hear the sound effects and such. But that is just something that I would make you guys aware of if you are playing on PC. I assume this is a bug to do with the game, and I actually recall having the same issue with Aspire's Bounty Hunter re-release in August last year, so it seems like it's more of an issue with their re-releases than, say, my PC. As I said, I play a lot of games, no issues, it's just these two games that have it. Due to the review code coming in at the same time as the game basically releasing, I haven't had too much time to play the game, but like I said, it works as intended, as it originally was intended, to be exact. It's very much the original game at its core, with some extra fun features and nice modernizations in the form of better resolution and those controls. The game hasn't changed though, so if you weren't a fan of the game originally, then you may not like it, but maybe you want to give it another go because of the improved controls. It's up to you, but I think I'd love to hear people's thoughts on those that enjoyed the game originally, telling people if they should pick it up. So let me know down in the comment section below if you are one of those people. It's one of those more unique Star Wars games that was released during the prequel era and is a bit of a classic and is now going to be able to live on with this re-release, and it's going to open the door to more people to enjoy it, which is always a good thing. And it's also part of a newly announced Prequel Pack, so Aspyr have put together a collection that's available on PlayStation, PC, and the Nintendo Switch, and it features their re-releases of Republic Commando, Bounty Hunter, Episode 1 Racer, and Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. So for $60 on console or $55 on PC, you are able to get all of these re-releases in one package. Now, the other 3 re-releases have been out for some time. For example, Bounty Hunter released in August, Episode 1 Racer and Republic Commando came out a good few years ago now, but ultimately all of them overall are good re-releases. That said, you can probably find them much cheaper individually. Now, if you want to get this for yourself or someone else, then it's a good gift to get because it's 4 classic Star Wars games running really, really well on current day systems. What I would like to see, though, is Aspyr's next game be Revenge of the Sith. That is the one that I've seen most people ask for, especially in this anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. It's the 20th anniversary of the film this year. I sincerely hope they announce it for a May release. That would be fantastic, because right now it's much more difficult to play than a lot of other Star Wars games, and I think it could do exceptionally well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything I've talked about in this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below. Will you be checking this out? Be sure to put that in a comment as well. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars gaming news updates, and if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.